Hello everyone! Today we are revealing Monday Night Raw from January 26, 1998. We start with Michael Cole narrating a recap of last week's chaotic Tyson-Austin confrontation. Cole explains that Tyson doesn't want to be the special referee at WrestleMania anymore. He wants Austin one-on-one instead. Then Shawn Michaels teases that he will give his own thoughts on the situation later that night. After that, we go to our first match, Ken Shamrock vs Mark Henry. Shamrock brings Ahmed Johnson and the DOA for backup, while Mark Henry relies on sheer power and a methodical approach, bear hugs, power slams and backbreakers. Shamrock fights back with a belly-to-belly suplex, but predictably, the Nation of Domination storms the ring, causing a DQ. Chaos ensues, setting up the 10-man War of Attribution match for No Way Out. A solid opener that gets the crowd fired up. Next, we had Jeff Jarrett and Barry Windham vs Legion of Doom. Backstage, Barry Windham explains he's leaving the cartoonish WWF antics behind and returning to real wrestling with the NWA. In the ring, Jarrett and Windham dominate LOD with suplexes, elbow drops and strategy. Cornette tosses a loaded tennis racket to Windham, allowing him to pin Animal. A controversial finish, but still effective for storyline purposes. The crowd gets invested in the NWA storyline and the feud continues. After that, we go to backstage. There DX is DX. Triple H is backstage with a leg injury, China wrapping it up, and Michaels continues his usual mix of arrogance and comedy. Shawn Michaels reveals a referee shirt under his jacket, declaring he will be the special referee for Tyson and Austin at WrestleMania. DX keeps rambling in their chaotic style, blending comedy and storyline, while teasing their pranks and showing off their personalities. Then we went to match 3, Vader vs Goldust. Vader dominates early, but Una attempts distractions. However, Vader wants the Vader bomb, but the lights go out and Kane enters with Paul Bearer. Chaos reigns as Vader fights Kane, delivers reverse tombstone and the crowd goes wild. But Kane is just too unstoppable. He gets up and delivers a tombstone power driver himself, leaving Vader on the ground. This segment sets up a future clash between Kane and Vader, while giving the audience a taste of classic WWF spectacle. We continue with our fourth match, the New Age Outlaws vs Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. The New Age Outlaws make their way to the ring, wearing full baseball catcher's gear, clearly prepared for a hardcore brawl. As soon as the bell rings, chaos erupts. All four men trade strikes and suplexes, splitting to the floor multiple times. Chairs start flying into the ring, adding to the mayhem, but the referee holds off, letting the mayhem continue. Cactus Jack wants a low blow on Road Dogg, but it's largely ineffective thanks to his protective cup. Cactus Jack ramps up the action with a chair-assisted aerial attack aimed at Billy Gunn. At this point, the referee has no choice but to call a disqualification. Even after the DQ, the action doesn't stop. Cactus Jack immediately locks the referee in a mandible claw, while Road Dogg is buried under chairs. Chainsaw Charlie climbs the turnbuckles and wants a moonsault on the pile, leaving the crowd stunned. Next match, number 5, Brian Christopher vs Pantera. Guest ring announcer Honky Tonk Man introduces this light heavyweight showcase. Christopher dominates early, but Pantera fights back with high-flying moves, including a suicide dive and handstand scissors. Pantera rolls up Christopher for the win, setting up a future title shot against Taka Michinoku. Waller shakes Pantera's hand and then immediately cheap shots him for the comedy segment to end. After that, we go to match number 6, the Headbangers vs the Quebecers. The Headbangers start strong, targeting Pierre on the outside, stomping and working him over, while Thrasher barely escapes a double team attack. Back in the ring, Pierre and Jacques regain control briefly, using quick tags and double team maneuvers to keep Mosh and Thrasher on the defensive side. The crowd is into the action, cheering every near fall and tag. Finally, Mosh gets the hot tag, sprinting into the ring and unloading a flurry of strikes and high impact moves. Both headbangers hit their signature double backdrops, leaving the Q Bakers owned. Mosh finishes things off with a well-timed sunset flip on Jacquius for the win, and the fans pop for the clever, fast-paced finish. Post-match, the Q Bakers take out their frustration, mounting a brief attack with a Boston Crab on Mosh and a flying leg drop from Pierre. Thrasher barely escapes, but the chaos ends quickly as officials rush in. A short, intense match that balances fast action with a post-match beatdown to remind everyone who's still a force to be reckoned with. And now, the main event. Owen Hart vs Triple H. Actually, Goldust as Hunter Dust. Goldust and Luna make parody of Triple H and China, complete with big noses, wigs, and DX antics. Owen overcomes the comedy, hits an enziguri, missile drop kick, and counters a pedigree into the sharpshooter for the win. Commissioner Slaughter awards him the European title, giving Owen a huge career moment. DX loses to the Titantron, but the fans cheer Owen's victory anyway. Before Raw goes off the air, the company once again highlights the media frenzy surrounding Tyson's involvement with the WWF. Don King appears and cuts one of the classic over-the-top promos, talking about the electricity between Tyson and Austin. He explains that the Nevada State Athletic Commission won't allow Tyson to fight, so he and Vince McMahon will need to find a different way to bring Tyson and Austin together at WrestleMania without breaking the rules. Then Steve Austin hits the ring to close the show. He's furious about being shoved by Tyson last week and promises a payback anywhere. Tyson's backyard, his own backyard, wherever it needs to happen. Austin threatens to knock out Tyson's golden tooth and turn it into a necklace and challenges Tyson to meet him at No Way Out. An intense promo that keeps the anticipation building. And that was Raw. This Raw was chaotic, storyline heavy episode. We had Austin and Tyson feud ramping to a new personal stakes, Kane interrupting Vader, a preview for future clashes, DX delivers backstage chaos and comic relief, and Owen Hart captures the European title, injecting mid-card excitement. This episode had drama, chaos, comedy, and unforgettable moments. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more classic WWF reviews. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, I will see you at ringside.